Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Capricorn placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Capricorn, to get started, first of all, happy belated birthday. This feels significant to your reading today because I keep getting this energy of like something was delayed for you, that it feels like it's already happened, whatever it is, like you already know that something has been delayed, or things being late, or like you have been waiting for it, but it's been sort of pushed back for whatever reason, but that they are catching up, and that like the message that it's been delayed is meant to be confirmation for you, but that it is arriving soon, and it's been something that you've been waiting for, and it feels like it's been tied to money or resources. So I just keep getting this energy of like things have been on hold for you, and whatever it is that you've been waiting for, it feels kind of like this has been the key for you to move forward with something. Like it's like you couldn't move forward with whatever it is that you're doing or whatever you're manifesting or whatever until you got this one piece, whatever that is for you. And I'm also getting this message that there's more to come. It feels like it does feel like something's opening up, or that there's an opportunity. Again, it feels like it's tied to money or resources, but it doesn't have to be for you. And with this new opportunity comes clarity about yourself. I was also getting this message of like you're going to be receiving something to sweeten the deal, whatever that is. And that there's also an unintended positive outcome or side effect that's coming out of this situation, but it feels very coincidental, but of course it's not. I keep getting like the word side effect was coming through as sort of like I don't know, like in terms of like medication, right? Like that, like side effect is used to sort of describe things that may happen in terms of like taking medications and things like that. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. Maybe it's health related. The examples that I'm getting are just like, let's say you take medication because you have a headache or something. But then there's like some sort of unintended positive outcome that comes from that. I have no idea what the example would be, but that's just what's coming through. So Capricorn, we're gonna pull some cards. It's been a while since I've done a reading, so thank you so much for your patience. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the likes and comments if you do choose to leave one. Thanks for the subscriptions. Okay, so Capricorn, I'm gonna pull an animal card for you. What's your energy in this reading? The black egg. So this card talks about truth. This is also the throat chakra. To me, this one also talks about sort of like being a magnet and attracting things that are true to you and repelling things that are not. I do like, there is this energy though of like either like waiting for an announcement or something to be said. Maybe you're waiting to receive a message, or someone's waiting to hear from you, or something like that. This card talks about truth and getting to the deeper meaning of something. Okay, what else for Capricorn? The panther. Interesting. And you have the moth at the bottom of the deck. So maybe you are doing shadow work with these two cards coming out together. It could also be talking about, like, facing your fears about something, especially with the Panther. Annihilation of the unnecessary and purging. The Panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc with the ultimate intention of bringing us towards more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating, but after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. Yeah. Getting rid of the unnecessary. And the Black Egg card talks about things like small talk, right? Like that there's no confusion, no excuses, no small talk, no noise, no lies, not even white ones. Which is interesting. So it could have something to do with, like, removing all of the unnecessary, I don't know, like filler things in terms of communication. It could be that. What we start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself, and what is true about the world? Yeah, this is a card about inner truth. So there could be something here about removing all of the filler or white noise surrounding an inner truth. This could it does feel like significant shadow work, but it feels like in terms of communication, perhaps even like how you speak to yourself, right? Like your own inner voice, your inner truth, how you express yourself could be also part of it. It's removing anything that's unnecessary is what's coming through with this. Singer of Intuition. That's really interesting because it almost feels like now, because you have all this like purpley color, but I feel like there's something here about especially with the Singer of Intuition, that maybe you're subconsciously or unconsciously preparing for something, and that right now you're going through a purging of your energy, especially if you are going through any sort of phase that has to do with like silence or quiet, or being more quiet than you are normally, in whatever way that is, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be in speaking, but it could just be in the way that you're expressing your output. Maybe your energy just feels more reserved or quiet than it normally is. That's part of a purging process is what's coming through, or a preparation process is how I'm feeling this. Like with the Black Egg, I'm kind of feeling this energy of like it's pulsing, attracting something. Yeah, himself coming out as well. So you have 717 coming out as numbers. But the himself with the Panther card is a very strong, intense energy, right? Like it's this very intense sort of like facing of yourself is how it's coming through. You have Faf the Footer at the bottom of the deck. Like so it could be being really honest with yourself. This could also be, again, shadow work, like facing yourself, facing the mirror. it could also be bringing a lot of I'm getting words like realizations or convictions, or but those don't feel like kind of like, those don't feel quite right. Understanding is what's coming through, like understanding what it is that you need to do now, maybe. I'm kind of getting something. It's so random. Something from the past that may have, that you may, like, okay, it's something from the past that is an accomplishment of yours, right? Like, so normally you would have looked back at this part of your life with like positivity. You looked at it with kindness, or like with pride maybe, or with happiness, or it made you feel good or whatever. It's something from the past. But there's something about that past energy that feels almost like it's been marred by something. Like there's a negative association in the past or something like that. So when you look back at this time in your life, even though it's something that should be positive, or has something to do with like, you know, a milestone, or it was like a goal or something that you've achieved, it doesn't feel that way to you for some reason, and that it's like marred by something negative. That's the energy that I was getting for whatever reason. But I feel like there's something about that that's changing. Either you're getting a new perspective on something from the past like that, or that you're getting a new experience where it's like you're maybe re-experiencing something positive without that negative influence that was sort of marring it, if that makes sense. So just take that if it resonates. I don't know what that has to do with this, but again, it does feel kind of like that energy of like purging something, and it could be something like a past pattern. It's wanting to come through as memory, like a memory of something. But anyways, okay, Capricorn. Yeah. Cobweb, protected from negative energies outside of your control. Okay. Because I am kind of getting this like feeling of maybe there has been some sort of delay in something, right? Like you receiving something, there's been a delay as a form of protection. Maybe there is something around you right now that sort of wouldn't be beneficial to you. So it's kind of like something is being purged in the environment in whatever way before you receive this whatever it is, opportunity. But you are protected. Like I am kind of seeing this force field around the black egg, right? Like maybe something's trying to get in to your defenses, but like it's being repelled. And it almost feels like yeah, you have protection. I don't know if the Panther is the one protecting you. I do feel like the Himself, because the Himself card, so it talks about natural magic, but it also brings in this energy of like the hunter and the hunted, and that there is he protects both, which is interesting. Because I'm kind of seeing both of that in your energy at the moment as well. Like the black egg being sort of like the object of I don't know. Object of desire doesn't feel like quite right. Like quite the right word or description, but like that, right? Like someone wants this, whatever it is. But with the Panther, I do feel like there's a significant amount of protection around you. And there may be an aspect of your shadow that's protecting you. Yeah, the egg. You have the egg twice. Success assured with good plans and hard work. Yeah. And then you have pale. Time to get out of a situation. And lily. Spiritual love. Interesting. And the sun. Happiness, well-being. Happiness and well-being. You're getting hints and clues about this, is what I just got there. You're getting hints and clues about what this is. So it could be even that you're not fully seeing what it is. This card in a reading, this is the Himself card. This card in a reading can indicate great vitality, victory, or triumph, confidence, and power. There's leadership, an ability to command, steadfastness, and integrity. Wild power held and channeled for the good of all by will. Himself speaks of protection, either of the querent or of someone the querent owes protection to, like a child or an elder. Acceptance of paternal responsibility is important, as are deep and committed relationships. He is the preserver of the natural world and its balances. It is like protection is coming through very strongly for you. And whatever this is, so there's something... Okay. This is such a specific example, but I'm going to try and like generalize it a little bit. Like it feels like something where in the past, maybe there, like, let's say it was a job opportunity. Maybe in the past you had a job opportunity or that you accomplished something, but the accomplishment was marred by some sort of negative influence that you were working with, or like, you know, like it's kind of like maybe you accomplished something great, but because of this, I don't know, particular person or something, it just ruined the entire experience. So even though it's something positive, you look back on it and all you can think about is that, you know, horrible thing that happened or whatever. As an example, like, and it kind of feels like that memory might be coming up again, because it's kind of like, so it's like maybe you now associate success as being something that comes with like negative, you know, people, like energy vampires or whatever. I don't know why that came up. It could be something like that. So it's kind of like it may have a negative association, right? It leaves a bad taste in your mouth or that kind of thing. So it's kind of like what I'm getting here is that like that negative association is what's being purged, right? Like that you're being protected from, or that your success, your recognition, your opportunity is being protected until this negative influence can be purged, is how that's coming through, whatever that is for you. Knight of Cups is your first tarot card out. Interesting. Ace of Cups and Queen of Swords. I think this is like, I haven't seen this Ace of Cups in a long time. It does, and the Queen of Swords does feel like a protector today, which is interesting. It's not normally the energy that I would associate with the Queen of Swords, but the Queen of Swords does have very strong boundaries, right? It's kind of like, almost like, because you have all this love energy, the Ace of Cups, the Lily, spiritual love, and then, which is interesting, the Pale is coming through as being like, it's almost like your love, Capricorn, is what's being protected, or like your, like what you have to give is what's being protected. Like, I'm seeing the Queen of Swords as being like, no one can get past this boundary for good reason until it's time for something. And in the meantime, with the Knight of Cups, I'm seeing you as almost being like, taking time to refill your cup. So that when it's time, you can let it, like, you know, you can give of yourself, maybe, whatever that is. And I feel like there was something in the past, because this Pale energy, time to get out of a situation, is where like the Ace of Cups was knocked over. That's how it's looking to me. The Ace of Cups was knocked over in the past. So I feel like that's the outcome that's trying to be avoided here in this case. And I feel like you do have protection, and it could be somebody like the Queen of Swords will depend on the person for you, or like the scenario, I should say. It does feel kind of like a person, like somebody who is acting as this sort of like protector of your peace, maybe. They're sort of standing between you and something, I want to say, that could potentially lead to your cup being depleted, is how it's wanting to be phrased. This could also be a guide. It doesn't have to be a physical person, is now what's coming through with this, but just take it how it resonates for you. Like, it could be that there's someone like a person or a spirit or guide who's sort of like giving you, like, I want to say they're not being like really direct about it. Well, for some of you, maybe they are. The Queen of Swords can be very direct, or kind of just like, yeah, with the Black Egg, it does feel like maybe you're getting hints and clues about what this is, or who this might be, or potential negative influences that may try to spill your cup, for lack of a better phrase. So pay attention to that through like your intuition. I feel like your intuition is trying to protect you from something. Yeah, the King of Wands. The King of Wands is what I would associate with protector energy, which is interesting. So perhaps you are the Queen of Swords. Sorry, I dropped a whole bunch of cards. Maybe you're the Queen of Swords in this case. Maybe there's something here where you're putting up a strong boundary, and the King of Wands is helping you with that, because I do feel like there's something, like it could be there's something from the past where your cup was spilled, is just how it's wanting to be phrased, right? Like your love was tossed, discarded, rejected, maybe, or your energy was depleted in whatever way. And it's kind of like you're being very protective of yourself in that case. And that there's assistance here with the King of Wands. Eight of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. But I do feel like, though, which is interesting, Capricorn, that there's something here of like a self-limiting belief that may be tied to success for you that has something to do with that. Like, it feels kind of like the memory of your cup being spilled is limiting your belief about, I don't know, community, like having community or success. It really wants to be tied to that for whatever reason, like success, recognition, reward, being acknowledged by others, like that kind of energy is how it's coming through with this. There's something about that feels like it's self-limiting. You're limiting yourself, or you have, maybe not you're limiting yourself, but you have beliefs that are limiting your full potential is how that's coming through. Okay, could I get cards for an energy outside of Capricorn, please? The Tiger, Queen of Wands energy. Okay, and one more. Yeah, the Phoenix and the Fire Ant. Okay, I was getting two separate energies that wanted to come through for this part of the reading, where there's someone here who's coming through as the Tiger, and then there's someone here who's coming out as the Fire Ant and the Phoenix. And this is what I'm like, so much fire here, right? All this fire. So fire feels like it's a significant energy, and you're sort of in this sort of like dark shadow energy, which does feel very positive for you. Because again, shadow, I say this so much in my readings, shadow is an energy that protects you from potential harm. Not that there's harm or something harmful necessarily in the environment at the moment, but you are, like, I do feel like whatever it is that you're being protected from is this energy, the Fire Ant and the Phoenix. And the Phoenix talks, so it is the root chakra, but it talks about this energy of like consciously removing energies of suffering, right? Like purging negative energies, like transmuting trauma and pain and suffering and all of that. So that is what is happening here with the Fire Ant. That there may be something external to you in the environment, in a certain context, right? However this relates to you. If it's work related, it could be something in your workplace. If it's family related, something in your family, right? Like, just take it how it resonates. That there's something in this context or environment that is going through a purging of this Fire Ant energy. And the Fire Ant represents, sometimes to me, it represents a wound, right? Like a trigger or trauma that needs to be healed, that is going through healing. It can also talk about aggression, anger, irritation, agitation, fire when it's a negative energy, right? Like too much anger or aggression. It could be something like that. But I do feel like that's going through a purging process. And it's like, in the meantime, Capricorn, you're sort of in this, like, I want to say stasis, but it's like, it's not stagnant. It doesn't feel stagnant to me. It just feels like it's been delayed. Like something's been delayed as this process is being worked through. The Tiger talks about, like, I do feel like you have some sort of ally in the environment who's helping you. Like, again, it could be a spirit guide. Doesn't have to be a physical person for you. It could be, though, for some of you, who's coming through as the Tiger, because I do feel like on some level you are both the king and the king of Wands, Queen of Swords. Like, that's both your energy, although you may experience it as being like a guide or something, someone who's helping you to channel that, could be. And the Tiger is the Queen of Swords. So Queen of Wands, sorry. I'm getting all tongue-tied now. I feel like there's there is an ally here, is what I'm getting with this. The tiger also represents boundaries, maintaining the boundary as well. Yeah, she of the Kruak, which is divine feminine energy, which is, again, the tiger. What's this other? Fire Ant and the Phoenix, and it's coming out with unity, which is really interesting because this card talks about like collaborating with others, right? Like you have Glominous Doom at the bottom of the deck. That's very interesting. Because the unity card I love to see, which is really positive. Yeah. Yeah, it says here, it reminds us to look at the needs and goals we have in common with others and to seek cooperation and community action rather than attempting to do everything on our own. To achieve our goals, we need the active cooperation of others, and to get that cooperation, we must be helpful to them and willing to work with their ideas as well as our own. It suggests that we think of things in terms of equal partnerships rather than in lines of hierarchical authority. We have much to gain by remembering our own wholeness. Resolution of inner conflict is often necessary before we move ahead. It is important at this time that we work towards cooperation and reconciliation within and without. Very interesting. Okay, because I feel like that's a message for the other. That whoever this Phoenix Fire Ant is, I'm going to say that this is a person. There's someone here who's working through some sort of inner conflict is what I want to say with that, with the Fire Ant. Like some sort of wound or trauma from the past that is causing irritation or anger. Pay attention to those sort of cues. Like that could be a sign of who this is. That they are working through that with the Phoenix, but it's not a pleasant or comfortable experience for them. But I do feel like they're going through this in with the intended, but this might be part of the sort of unintended positive outcome of something. Because it could be something where like there's someone in your environment, let's say it's a coworker who's going through some sort of difficult period in their life. And it's causing them to sort of like reassess, reevaluate, or do some shadow work maybe, or whatever. But it's like, because they've done that now collaboration with you is possible where it wasn't before. That's how it's coming through. Where I feel like there's something here where it's almost like Capricorn, you were delayed. Or like, maybe not you, but like, an opportunity for you was delayed because this person or something was going through this sort of like it does feel like healing, an uncomfortable healing though, where once this healing is done, collaboration can now happen. And I feel like it's the collaboration that you were waiting for, but that has been protected up until this point while this process happens. I hope that makes sense. Very interesting. The Glominous Doom, they may be working through some, like, This is a tough card, and the feline underneath that. Yeah, that, like, this as the context, like, the Glominous Doom talks about self-pity. It talks about, like, depression, of course, as well. I know that sounds very harsh, but it also, like, it brings in this energy of, like, accepting that we are all responsible for how we feel, and we're all responsible for our own energy and all of that. And once you accept that, you can move forward, right? Like, that's how the energy is feeling. I feel like there's something like that for whoever this person is. The feline also talks about like doing what you say you're going to do, right? Like it talks about responsibility and like following through on things that maybe someone has been procrastinating on, or that kind of energy. Anyways, the first tea leaf card that you have for the other side is someone new is entering your life, the chair filled. So I do feel like this is some sort of new opportunity that you have been waiting for, Capricorn. With the mountain road, you are on the road to success. Elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. And purse. Pay attention to your finances. Yeah, I do feel like this is something to do with resources or like work related. Candle. You will be shown the way. So that's all for the other side. I do feel like they're like... And then you have Jug at the bottom of the deck. Lighthearted, carefree time, which is looking like that energy of the Ace of Cups again, right? Like I feel like there's something here where there's the potential for some sort of collaboration or in whatever form that is. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, though. I feel like there's a monetary aspect to it, right? With the purse, there's something financial tied to this. Some sort of like financial potential maybe. But I feel like up until this point, it hasn't been possible because there's been some sort of healing that was required first. Or releasing of suffering is what's wanting to come through here with the Phoenix Fire Ant combination. They're releasing suffering. Yeah, 10 of Wands, 4 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. I feel like there's something here where, like, okay, releasing suffering, which in this image to me is just looking like all the fire ants that were surrounding this wound are now gone, right? Like that's how it's coming through. Well, I don't know if that's a message for someone. It just feels like that's all that's going to be said. So if that's for you, then I hope it resonates. But there's something about like maybe the fire ant has something to do with the 10 of Wands here, which is coming through as like carrying other people's burdens. The 4 of Wands and the 9 of Cups. Yeah, this 9 of Cups I always see as being like there's like something behind this sheet. I feel like there's something here where it's like maybe you wouldn't assume this about this person. Like you wouldn't necessarily guess that they've been going through something like this, that they've been on this sort of long journey, but that they are definitely on the road to success. Yeah, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, and 7 of Wands. Yeah, this one to me does look like a boundary or a barrier, the 7 of Wands. Like I feel like there has been one up until this point that has been preventing collaboration and friendship even maybe, or joyful creation is what's coming through with that. There's been something that has been preventing that up until this point. Seven of Pentacles, but I feel like Yeah, the seeds have been planted is what's coming through with that. Because there is something here about like right timing or having the right environment for something. I do think that that's changing, right? It is becoming time. And I feel like you're also going to see, this might be one of those rare instances where you see or you learn about or you understand why it didn't happen sooner is kind of how it's coming through. Like, when you and this person get together, maybe they tell you something about like that they were going through something, and that because of whatever it was that they were going through, it would have been impossible for you and this person to come together at that time. So that is why there's a delay. Like, it feels kind of like the delay is explained sometime soon. But in the meantime, you're just being asked to sort of like trust and listen for the right timing is how it's coming through. Yeah, Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands. It does look like there's, with the Seven of Wands, that one wand that was sort of blocking the path is being removed, right? It's kind of like the gate is opening. And that there's movement again, is what I'm getting with that. You have the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Okay, Capricorn. I'm going to leave it there. I hope this reading resonated with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.